I bleed blue, of course. I mean, I've been with the Mavs since what, '98. They're close to my heart. So we created this tennis event because, first of all, I'm a big tennis fan, and that tennis was my first sport. And as with the Dirk Nowitzki Foundation, we wanted to put on our own event with something that we love. And everybody does. There's golf events and all sorts of stuff. That's just not me. I'm not a big golfer, so I wanted to put something on that I love doing. And so this is the fifth time we came up with this tennis celebrity classic. And unfortunately, of course, we couldn't do it the last couple of years because of the pandemic. But we're back for the fifth year and really looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun weekend on Sunday at SMU. Some great celebrities are coming in to support, and we have our sponsors that obviously give us plenty of support. So we're looking forward to having a fun day out in the heat.
Of course. And so I know the Dirk Nowitzki Foundation is obviously a part of that. Tell me about that foundation and what it supports.
So I founded the foundation 2001. So we just last year had our 20th anniversary, which has been an amazing ride off the court as well for me. Being part of this community. We give out grants every year to children's and women's charities and foundations in the Metroplex here in North Texas. And we found so many great organizations that do so much great work. And we basically just help them and with funding, and so they can do good work and obviously change a lot of lives here locally in North Texas. So we've been doing that for, like I said, over 20 years, and we're excited to be back with our tennis event, and hopefully we're able to give out a lot of funds again this year.
Yeah, and I saw, one of the guys playing, Luka's in the tournament, and I'm sure plenty of people in Dallas want to know, give us a little sneak peek. Is he going to be out there? What are his tennis skills like?
So Luka played a few years ago when we were able to do it, and we love having him. Of course, he's the star here. People love him, and I wouldn't say he's the best tennis player. He's a big tennis fan. His skills are just okay. I always tell him you should just stick to basketball. But we're so happy and grateful that he comes and supports. I know he was just obviously in the Eurobasket and in Europe, and for him to come in and support that weekend for us means a lot. And we definitely appreciate him playing.
I'd love to ask you, a tennis question since we're talking about tennis. A guy who just recently retired after you, Roger Federer, y'all played, came in around the same time, and two legends in your own right. Just what are your thoughts on what Federer meant to tennis and getting to watch him as you played?
Yeah, I've been fortunate. I met Roger a few times, one time in the Olympics in '08 and a couple other handful of times in Wimbledon. So, of course, I'm a huge fan. Just talking to him, picking his brain, what he did off the court as well as on the court, to me is one of the goats of the sports, of course. And to lose Serena and Roger within just a couple of weeks is very sad and emotional for me as a tennis fan who's followed the sport for the last 40 years. So they'll definitely leave a huge hole to fill, but both tremendous personalities, tremendous athletes, and they did so much good also off the court. So just big fan over here.
Sure. Now you mentioned Eurobasket. I know you've probably talking about it. You've talked about it a lot, but getting your international jersey retired, give me a little bit of insight about what that was like.
I mean, it was super cool. It was emotional. I had friends from growing up there. I had my family, my kids were there. My parents were able to witness it again. So it's been so many unforgettable moments. Honestly, this last 3 years in retirement, starting with with the street naming here, and then the jersey retirement, and all sorts of other awards. And it's just been an incredible journey here the last 3 years, and I've just been soaking it all in and trying to stay in the moment and really just enjoying it. And I'm so proud that my family's there to witness all this. And so it was super cool. I saw some teammates that I hadn't seen in years, probably over 10 years, that played with me in the early 2000s and some of our success stories there. So I mean, it was a great day for me and a great night that I'll never forget.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I got to ask you a Mavs question. Obviously, last year finally broke through the first round for the first time since you guys did, winning the championship in 11. What do you kind of expect for this season, building off that success from last year?
Well, you always think further. You want to get better in the off season. You want to take the next step. If you're this far and you're in the top four, it's sometimes hard to take that next step. So we'll just have to wait and see how this season goes. I think we have the great core in place with Luka. We can build around. I think, of course, we have the coaches and everything in place that they showed that last year, and we'll just have to wait and see how the season goes. I think, losing Brunson is of course tough. He was a very big part of what we're doing the last few years. But hopefully by adding Timmy Hardaway back in the mix and some other guys, we can make up for it. But sometimes it takes a while to build something, and last year was a fun year, and let's see if we can build on that and have the right pieces in place to repeat that and see what happens.
Not just your connection to Dallas, but staying connected to the Mavs, and we see at the games, and still being enjoying your retirement, but also still being connected to this city and the organization. Why did you feel motivated to do that and to still kind of be connected even in retirement?
Well, I bleed blue, of course. I mean, I've been with the Mavs since '98. They're close to my heart, and I always thought, after I enjoy retirement a bit, that I will want to be involved and I want to help. And so I think the last 3 years I haven't been around as much as I wanted to, because I still enjoy the traveling, enjoy the kids, but hopefully here in the near future, I have more time to really get into it and help out even more. The playoff run was probably the most I've been around. I almost saw every game, and it was such a blast to see these guys work so hard and break through in the top four. I mean, that was incredible journey. And so hopefully here in the near future, I'll be around a lot more and really try to help the organization out even more.
Yeah. Well, last question for you. Do you have any, because I love when you talk about Luka's stories. Is there any conversation you had recently, something funny he said? Give me some type of tidbit with Luka that people enjoy.
He is so funny. I think in the media sometimes he's just like me 20 years ago when you're not sure and English is not your first language. I think you're always a little shy that with the cameras on. I don't want to say anything wrong. And I was just the same way. But once the camera's off, this kid is hilarious, and he busts everybody, and he's a jokester, and he loves to have fun with his teammates, with his people around him that he's comfortable. And so I think with me, he feels fairly comfortable. So he says whatever, and we usually enjoy each other's company. I didn't see him that much this summer, even because he obviously played, and I was there just as an ambassador for the Euros, so I didn't really get to see him much. But we'll spend some time here, hopefully before the season starts. And he knows that anything he ever needs, I'm more than happy to help him out. If it's on or off the court, he knows that I'm always in his corner. He's such a great kid. He's got a huge heart, and he wants to do well. And so if there's anything I can ever do for him, I'm happy to do so.